go, this is my wrap up for the month of March, but also my wrap up for Emoji-a-thon, which, if you've looked at my channel, I did one vlog. I read 6 books in the month of March, which I'm pretty content with. That's okay. The first book I read was The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. This book I cracked out in one day because it is very tiny, but I did enjoy it. Don't know what the twist is, then read the book, because I knew what the twist was, and that kind of, like, it was really good, but if I didn't know, I know I'd be there like, what? But I wasn't. I was just more there like, yay. Really good book, really enjoyed it. Second book that I read was Three Dark Crowns by Kendar Blake, and this one is very popular on BookTube. It is about 3 sisters who are triplets, and they are all queens, but they're brought up on like different parts, like different islands. Like one is an elemental, one is a naturalist, and one is a poisoner, I don't know, poisonist, words. It's about these 3 sisters, and they basically have to kill each other to find out which one is going to be queen, and this is like the lead up to that. It's the first in a trilogy, I do believe. I enjoyed this. I read it in a couple days, but there was this one character who spoiled almost the whole thing for me. 3 strong, awesome women, and what does cause a lot of destruction? A boy. Oh, it was like, oh yes, I can do all of this powerful stuff, and then I'm gonna whittle it down to, it's my boyfriend. Like, I have the second one already, and I really want to start it because this did end on a cliffhanger. It was a very good cliffhanger, and I did like the story. I just wish I could take that part out of it, but I really hope the second one isn't so boy heavy, because you're turning these awesome women into just The third book that I read was The Girl Who Saved the King of Sweden by Jonas Jonasson. This book is about a girl called Mbeko, and she is born in Soweto, is it? Soweto? Yes, Soweto, in like the 1960s, and she does live in a slum, but she is so intelligent, and she's taught herself to be intelligent, like, as in, she hasn't had any schooling at all. She is an awesome person, and she is gonna rule, but she ends up getting mixed up with a nuclear weapons program, and it just all goes crazy. If you've read The 100-Year-Old Man Who Climbed Out the Window and Disappeared, it's got the same kind of, like, the main character is falling into these giant historical events. It's very good. I did enjoy it. It did take a bit longer than I hoped to read, but I still really enjoyed it. The next book that I read was The Curious Incident of Dog and Nighttime by Mark Haddon, and this book is about a boy with autism. It's written from his point of view, and he finds a dead dog at the bottom of his neighbour's garden, and it is him solving this case, and oh my god, it is so good. I really enjoyed it. It got me frustrated, but in a total good way, as in it was intentional, which made it even better, and I was just there like, ugh. I enjoyed this book. I would recommend it to most people, even though most people have already read it. The next book that I read was The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. This is about a man called Arthur Dent, and his house is about to be torn down to make way for a motorway. And on the same day, the Earth is about to be torn down to make way for an intergalactic highway, I think it is. But Arthur does not know that he is very close friends with someone that is not of this earth, called Ford. Now Ford is a curator for the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and he shows Arthur this, and they go on many adventures. Now this is very Monty Python-esque. I mean, it's English humour, and the guy, literally Douglas Adams, was afraid when he first wrote this that people were just going to think he was ripping off Monty Python, so fun fact from my boyfriend. I enjoyed it. I wasn't crazy about it, but I do want to read the next couple of ones. And the last book that I read this month was Brooklyn by Colm Tobin. I can never say that name properly. This is about a character called Ellis. She is a young lady who has grown up in Ireland, and she is emigrating to Brooklyn to actually get a job and get a life for herself in the 1950s. Now this is a very emotional book about leaving home and creating a new home, and then figuring out that going back home it's not exactly the same, and you've got to move forward. It's just good, and I really enjoyed the film. So I kind of skimmed the last bit because it gets me really angry, but I did really enjoy it. So those were all the books that I read in March. Hopefully April will be a better reading month, because the quality wasn't great this month. I think that kind of like deterred me from reading, because I was just like, I haven't read anything amazing that's made me go, I love reading. I hope you've had a great week and I will see you next time. Goodbye.